About to drop a bomb on your head here. The social media marketing space has become extremely flooded with all of the same claims, right? Oh, I'm going to double your revenue in 30 days, or if we don't do that, I'm going to give you a check for $5,000 for wasting your time. We're going to scale your business to $100,000 in whatever months. Like, it's all the same, right? And it's getting increasingly more competitive as each week goes by, and all the gurus that you're learning from are teaching the exact same thing of, yeah, you just need to learn how to set appointments, and you can just do that exact same thing for your customers, your clients, lead generation through Facebook ads, and everything's going to be all great, and you're just going to scale a business to $100,000 per month and you're going to be all happy. That's not the case anymore. That ship has sailed. So that is the old way, where you kind of just set something and kind of forget about it. Even though that's not truly always the case, especially with like ads and whatnot. But what you need to really focus on is less about the system itself, okay, and more about, and like, let's put system there, okay, and more about how you onboard, which is what people don't talk about because it's extremely boring and nobody actually gives a shit. So, well, when it comes to the business world, but your clients give a shit. That's what your clients want. They give less of a shit of, we do Facebook ads, and we do Google ads, and we'll do your lead generation with email, blah blah blah. They've probably tried everything by now, most likely, right? What they care about is that you have a different process to getting them the result. Meaning, when you onboard them, you have a unique approach as to getting them that result, and you treat them differently than everybody else. The other point to this as well is that your service encompasses more than just simple lead generation, lead gen, if I can write that nicely there for you, okay? Lead gen, and what's the other big thing right now? Just lead gen, appointment setting, and I guess we'll just say paid ads, okay? Because it's all kind of, a lot of these guys are just packaging these two together, okay? And then what you're doing is you're competing with everybody else who's just doing this, okay? That's great. And you're going to get mediocre results, if any. What you need to do is you need to be fully transparent in the way that you operate, meaning you need to do everything. Everything. And this is where the competition, it's almost like the Red Sea, it just parts, right? It's like, oh, nobody else is going to do this because they think it's hard, right? Because they're like, oh, well, I don't know how to do VSLs and script VSLs and do a hiring process and build funnels for XYZ. Like, I don't know how to do all that. So I'm just going to offer the thing that I learned in this course, and I'm just going to keep reselling that. And then when that doesn't work, I'm going to jump to another guru who's going to do the same thing. And yeah, we'll just keep going until I find the magic pill through a course. Doesn't exist. What you need to do is innovate. You need to constantly innovate and improve your services and offer more than what the other person is doing. So you need to have a service that has higher likelihood of achievement and has higher perceived value. So you can charge higher prices, especially if you are in the SMMA space, if you run an agency. Okay, you need to increase your value, you need to increase your prices. Okay. And if you have a hard time charging higher prices, well, that is the lack of conviction on your own willingness to fulfill. So if you know that you can fulfill and you know that you can get results for people, why are you having a hard time charging higher prices? Because maybe you need to stack on your volume. It doesn't mean that you keep the same thing and just continue to up the price from there. You can do that with higher quality clients. But what you want to do is truly onboard a full kind of like DFY, done for you system that has all these different things that you can do for them, right? Lead gen, paid ads, funnel building. You can do hiring of a team. There's X amount of things that you can do, but you need to learn these things, at least get a grasp on them, and then you can go ahead and delegate this stuff out. But ideally, this is like where the road really is these days is it has less to do with, oh well, yeah, we do paid ads, we do lead generation, and it has more to do with, we're going to build everything for you, okay, and you're not going to have to worry about it, and we're going to continue to work together so that you get the results that you're looking for. Because what happens is that you have all this, we'll have this one group here, right? So this is everybody learning in the agency space. Iman Godzi, trying to think of other people in here as well. Charlie Morgan, probably, I think he's in that group. Like that one guy, Montel Gordon, I've seen. Like these are all the students. Okay, just a clusterfuck of people learning all the same shit, offering the same shit, and then you're kind of just, if you do any type of outbound as an agency, you're getting roped into all these people with the similar offers that just learned how to do this stuff a month ago. Okay, what you need to be doing, okay, is you just need to be different. You need to do more. Okay, so you need to be part of the few that are willing to do a little bit more in their service. You offer, instead of it just being paid ads and lead gen, you need to offer full service packages. Okay, almost like a white glove service. Okay, concierge service, because what people truly care about is the process. Okay, the onboarding process, the accountability, the feedback, right? The constant help and iteration, having something done for them, feeling like that they're just getting this grade A service. You have to think about when you go to like a 5-star hotel or you go to a 5-star restaurant, the experience that the customer is having with you needs to be different than just, yeah, we'll just communicate over text. Yeah, we're running your ads. Here's a new creative, blah, blah, blah. Sick. Nice. Another bullshit agency that does the same thing as everybody else. Okay. You need to create an experience for people, bar none. Okay. And the other thing too is, like I mentioned earlier, this is where it becomes easier because there's not a ton of people that are willing to do this. There's not a ton of people willing to go above and beyond. There's not a ton of people willing to innovate, critically think, stop following everybody else, and actually take a look at what would make this process easier for my client to onboard. What would make this process easier for my client to get the results? All of the services are the same. But what experience are they going to get with you is the question that you need to ask. So you need to think of a few things here. Okay, and I'll write this down so you can actually have something tangible that you can take away from this as well, that you can work on. Because if you don't, you're just going to forget about it and you're going to go watch another Iman Ghazi video on the world ending, and then you're just going to go right back into it. So what you need to do is you need to take a piece of paper. Okay, I got a nice messed up piece of paper here. And you need to sit down and you need to think about, what is my core advantage? Okay, my core advantage that would separate me from the rest of the competition. And then go take a look at your competition. Okay, what is somebody else doing that's similar to me and providing a similar result or transformation for people in my niche market? Okay, so go take a look at your competition, right? Evaluate what's my core advantage compared to them, even if you have to estimate it or guess. Then you want to think about some reinforcing advantages. Okay, so for example, I'll give you an example. So a core advantage, right, for us is we have a done for you build and release client acquisition and scaling program. Okay, this is actually a done for you, built for you process system that we put inside of your business, right? And the reinforcing advantages is that it's quick. Okay, so we have speed on delivery, right? So speed. And then we would follow up with a couple others, right? Like, for example, pre-qualified leads, or you could say effortless enrollment, or 24/7 communication. Whatever those reinforcing advantages are that your client is going to experience with you, you want to have that. And then you also want to list the benefits on what they're going to receive from those advantages of working with you, right? Scale your revenue, scale a sales team, remove yourself from operations, automate. What are these things that they're going to get? Because this stuff is going to go into your offer. This is what people are going to understand that sets you apart from everybody else. Okay. And the biggest part too, that if you have client testimonials and case studies and people that you've worked with in the past, is go back and listen to what they've said about you. Or if you have not yet done that, get on a call with them and ask them about their experience with you. What did they like? What did they not like? What could you improved on? It's going to suck when you hear the shit that you don't want to hear, but you need to ask it because you can go ahead and get direct feedback and improve it. Okay. So you want to go and you want to talk to your past or current clients. Okay. And if you don't have any, if this, you're like one of like a newer agency for whatever reason, you're watching this, and that's totally fine. Then you just want to interview the current market and understand what is it that they're really looking for compared to all these other agencies. Okay. Put that down. And the feedback is so key. It was so funny. Ty Lopez, for those who know, probably one of the biggest marketers in this generation, he had an Instagram live. He goes live quite often, and he actually will review like people's like landing pages, websites, and so on and so forth. It's pretty cool. So I went ahead, I threw our website up on there, and he gave us direct feedback. And the process in my mind was like, I don't even care if he rips this apart. I just need to know, because at least I know that it's bad, right? Then I know that our landing page is bad. And he all it really boiled it down to was just making things simple and simplistic so that's easy to understand. Because if a prospect does not understand something, they automatically associate that with not trusting the solution. So what you need to do is clearly articulate how you can help somebody and why it's different than somebody else. Because we don't typically do a typical coaching program where we have like 1,000 people in a Zoom and you never get your question answered and it's like a classroom. Or let's say it's a typical lead generation agency where we just we spend all your ad money and you pay us a retainer and you get low quality leads and you don't get qualified book calls. Like, you don't want to do that. You want to do something a little bit different. We'll build the entire system for you. We'll build you a team, and all you have to do is oversee it and manage it on your own. And then we get direct one-on-one consultations with you so that you can get the feedback, and we'll iterate and optimize. And all the new systems that we build, we'll install it directly inside of your system that we build for you, right? So it's very hands off. It's very much, wow, they have this approach that's pretty much always already built out. I just need to give them information and they're going to get me the result that I'm looking for, right? Now, we're not promising something overnight. We're not promising to scale them up $100,000 in 30 days, okay? That's not what we're promising. You want to be realistic. You want to give them a timeline like, hey, look, this might take 90 to 180 days for you to fully see the effects of the compounding system that we're putting in place. But we know that we've done this with this person. We've scaled X person to 50K per month, or an additional 50K per month, over $100,000 per month. And we're going to put the exact same system that did this for that person. We're going to build it inside of your company for you. Okay. And articulating that in a way that makes sense to your niche, depending on who it is that you're serving. Okay. But again, it's not enough to sit there and learn from a course and then not innovate, because you need to think about it too. Like, everybody else is learning the same shit that you're doing, and then they're just going and they're implementing that exact same thing, right? And yeah, that the factor is that they teach is like, go find your niche, your interest, and stuff like that. But you don't think that other people are thinking of the same thing that you are? You think that you're the only person with that interest that runs an agency or is starting an agency? You think you're the only person? No, you're not. You're doing the same thing as everybody else. So yes, go through the course. I'm not against courses and education and investing in yourself. Absolutely, I'm for it. But what I'm saying is, go through it, right? And there's all these communities and everything and live calls, and view what everybody else is doing and how can you do it better? How can you one up it? How can you enter that market and take it over? And how can I get ahead of the competition? It's just observing it, being the observer, and not just being the participant. I'm just going to participate and just do like a robot. It's like, yes, do the actions, take action, but how can you improve? How can you do what 98% of people don't want to do, which is typically work harder on creating something that's better than everybody else. So you actually take time to create and think, because as a founder, you need time to think. You need time to ponder thoughts. Okay. This is probably one of the toughest things that I had to really understand, was that you need to clear your mind. You need to have mental bandwidth in order to think about the thing that your client needs. Think about the thing that's going to set you apart, right? It's just I don't even know how to explain it other than like just peace of mind. Get off your phone, stop scrolling, stop surfing the internet, and just think. Grab a notebook or something, okay? And sit down, pen and paper, and write. Or I'll go on something like this, like Miro, and map it out. That's what we do. I'll come in here and I'll start creating like little maps, right, as to like what the onboarding service will look like. Okay, so like they come in. I'm just using an example here. Onboard, right? I didn't spell that right. And then right, collect like company data, right? And then let's say they fill out like a optimal client profile, something like that. I'm just giving a random example, and then we give them like a launch call to launch their campaigns, all within like a week. All right, week one, and then you may go down here and like what's week two gonna look like, right? And map it out. What's the customer experience gonna look like, and then how are you gonna fulfill on that? And then go a layer deeper is like, okay, what are the things that are included that they can look forward to, so that they feel that they're getting that white glove service, and go through this. Okay, it's tedious, it's boring, it sucks, but if you fall in love with the idea of just improving, which can be hard from time to time because you sit there and you're like, oh, like I wish I had it now. It's like, yeah, we all wish we had it now, but things that are amazing and great, they don't they don't just fall into your lap. There are steps to this that you have to go through in order to get to the greatness, regardless of what it is that you do. Like, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm always going to be building systems and implementation, all that stuff forever, but I know what I'm doing now is going to lead me to the greater cause of the big goal that I'm really striving for, right? And it's subjective to everybody, but understand that it's not just going to come overnight. I need to continue to improve myself, my product, my team, my company, my skills. I need to continue to improve the way that I learn, the way that I listen, the way that I consume certain pieces of content that are only beneficial, and then produce more, right? It doesn't matter what I'm in, right? I could be even like a TikTok person that just does TikToks, right? They understand how can they make their content better, how can they engage the audience and the user and the viewer better, right? And all it really comes down to is persuasion, right? Get really good at persuasion. Again, it doesn't matter what it is you do. You could be a musician. Drake, really great at being persuasive. Why? He connects with his audience a lot. He's built a cult-like fan base. I'm from Toronto. It's everywhere. He is everywhere, like without you even knowing it. But because he's been so persuasive with his music, his marketing, his team, he's thought about all these things. He has a team that thinks about all these things, right? And it's just having that time to create, to think, to get better, to improve, to never stop, to never be complacent. And this is the thing that I'm just ranting now at this point, but this is the thing that really bothers me is when we'll talk to some people and the basic people that come to us for wanting to work with us, and they're like, yeah, like, I mean, it'd be nice to be like, get to like 30K per month. I'm like, why 30K? Why? That's so, like, what are you going to do with 30K per month? That's for you. That's not for everybody else that could benefit. Think about it. Like, who are you really going to help at 30K per month besides yourself? And like, you put your kid through college, which, I mean, there go like 30K per month. You're probably going to get rinsed by that time you do that. You need to think bigger. Why can't you get to $1 million per month? Why can't you be the one to truly take over an industry and provide immense value for people and create a difference, be a change maker, think bigger, impact more people? Why can't you do that? Why can't you do that? Or why are you settling for less? Well, I just want to, like, just build my business, and it's like, yeah, that's great, but why wouldn't you want to do more? Like, I know for us, like with High Income Society, we're building a really, really intricate type of an innovative type of system, right? And this is for the done for you aspect of the builds that we do now. But High Income Society is going to be way more than what it is today. Like, I have the vision that it's going to be a massive community of entrepreneurs coming into it. They'll most likely at one point will probably even introduce a low ticket monthly subscription to get people that just want to learn business and entrepreneurship and skills to come in and just starting getting the baselines down, right? And eventually there'll be a software attached to it. That'll be our own little software that we're going to be able to grow within the community. And eventually it'll go out there into the world just by word of mouth because of how well it gets created. And we'll create a ton of marketing content around our community and how amazing it is and why people come here and choose us over everybody else and create a greater impact that way. I'm not just thinking, yeah, I just want 30K per month. Sick. Nice, man. You get everything that you want. How are you supposed to get other people what they want? You really got to think about it, guys. You really got to get serious here because this is the one thing that we all take for granted is the potential that we have inside of us and what you can truly create. So take this, run with it, go sit down, create, think, how can I be better? How can I create more of an impact? And I will see you in another video. Cheers.